comes to the political scene, and also the perspective of the national issues in Nigeria as well. You can be a part of this conversation by joining us on Facebook on Delta Broadcasting Service Warri. You can also reach us on the phone number 0805 222 7552 as the program progresses. And in case you missed any of our live broadcasts in time past, you can always watch on our YouTube channel on DRTV. My name is Eyonju Ambioku, and today on the program we're going to take a look at 2021 in review, looking at Delta State politics in particular. And so that's how we're going to do the program for today. Do stay tuned on Political Arena this morning. Excuse me. Alright, so joining me on radio, I have Mr. Emeka. Emeka, good morning. Good to have you join us on the program this morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Okay, so let us take a look at
Point of order, minority leader.
Distinguished senators, members of representation.
Let's stop there. If we cannot save this country, we stay in our homes. Our country is bleeding. People are in poverty. There's no food. People are hungry. Insecurity is threatening us. We cannot pretend. It's better we're not here than to not see that here people are dying. Every day Nigerians are dying. We must learn to education. As for me, Mr. President,
welcome to Political Arena right here on Delta Rainbow Television. It is a program that extrays the recent significant activities and events in Nigerian politics and world politics at large. We highlight, we go through and analyze different political situations and activities in our country and educate you better on what's happening on the political scene. You can be a part of the conversation by joining us on our Facebook page, Delta Broadcasting Service Warri, right there on Facebook, and you can also call us as the program progresses on the phone number 0805 222 7552. Also, if you happen to miss any of the editions previously, you can join us on our YouTube page at DRTV. So today on the program, we're taking a look at politics in review 2021. What happened in Delta State on the political scene? This and so much more are going to come up your way on the program today. Joining me, I have Comrade Emeka Wokocha, who is a public analyst on political affairs and other matters in the country. Emeka, thanks for joining us today on the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, so let's kickstart first by taking a general look at politics in Nigeria.
It's quite interesting. Let me kickstart this impressive discussion by saying Happy New Year to Nigerians.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to Deltans. And Happy New Year to the Data Broadcasting Service crew. It's quite impressive, I want to recall. Our political space, has been inundated with interesting scenarios as regards, the issues that have popped up, towards the 2023 electionary processes. Talking about the presidential race, trickling down, to the governorship seats as it were. So it has been very, very much interesting. We have seen the big wigs in the political angles, trying to massage the ego of Nigerians and trying to assert themselves better. And I have seen the new entrants too, trying to unseat, the so-called political bigwigs and trying to make their names too in the political space of Nigeria. So it has always been an interesting scenario, and we are enjoying it, and we are following up tenaciously to watching where the pendulum of leadership will swing to in 2023. So I think it has always been a busy one now, and we believe that whatever comes out of it in 2023 will be for the good of Nigerians.
All right, for people who are not very political or they're not interested in politics but they're viewing us right now, what are some of the key events that transpired in 2021 that they should be aware of and look forward to in 2022?
Yeah, looking at it from the national angle, you discover that the political space, as it were, it's getting hotter. And one major issue on the political table is where the presidency would go, or rather would come from. The southern eastern part of this country, are itching, trying to bring, their discussion and their arguments on a very clear and fair pedestal, calling on Nigerians that it is high time, they consider them, to produce the presidency, that in the spirit of fairness, equity, and good conscience, that it is expected that Nigerians should, evolve the principle of egalitarianism, where every unit of the country is relevant. So going by that, they say, let the Igbo extraction, produce the presidency. And what that means is a case of, within the PDP angle, the zoning of the presidency seat should go to the eastern state. Why the APC should still go to the eastern state. Why I'm trying to bring these two parties as a reference point is because these are the largest party that have decided, the political space of this country over the decades. So they have actually shown that they have what it takes to call the shots in our political arena. So, and the presidency, nilly-willy, would definitely come from these two parties. So I'm not saying that the table could not be shifted, that going by what I've seen now, they have shown more popularity in their activity, political activities over time. And shifting from that, we have still come to see where the northern oligarchies too are trying to bring to the table, reasons which might not be substantiated anyway, why they should as well produce under presidency in 2023. Somebody who is actually, looking for something will always bring, reasons forward why he would want that to happen. And they always want to substantiate it, with pitiful appendages, to buttress the point. But what we are now saying in essence is that if we would want Nigeria to run on a very fair pedestal, where every person is given the opportunity, to have a say in the political project of this country, why would we not, do it in that situation where everybody will feel belong or will feel, satisfied in the Nigerian project? So you can now see that a lot have actually come up. Divesting from that too, within the states, you still say that the governorship seat, has become the major political discourse that has, agitated the attention of the people over time. In our state here, Delta State, you will recall that the issue of rotational governorship, has always been in the front burner, where going by that arrangement, which obviously is not written, the data center are saying that they are the one now, to produce the governorship come 2023. And going by that too, you're now seeing other discordant tones from our Ijaw brothers who are now saying that the senatorial district arrangement, has not favored them. That we should look at it from this principle of equity, fairness, and good conscience. That every person has a stake in the Delta State project. So why would the Orobos, having had it during Ibori, are still coming again to have it again? Why not to consider, the Delta South, where you have the Isokus and the Ijaws who are yet to test the governorship seat? But then the Ijaws are pulling a very strong string and saying that we should look at it, that all of us are brothers and sisters, who have equal stake in this wonderful project Delta. So why don't you allow us have a taste of this apple? So they are bringing forth again a very pathetic and a very reasonable reasons why the Delta should consider them, to be good enough, to produce the governorship seat. I think this has become, the points, the topics that have actually occupied the minds of Deltans looking into 2023 as to where the pendulum of the governorship seat would swing.
All right, thank you very much. You have dived into the Delta State politics, but we're going to get there because we're still taking a look at Nigeria in general, a retrospect in 2021 down to 2022. We'll go for a quick break, and when we come back, the program Political Arena continues. To stay with us.
Point of order, Minority Leader.
Distinguished senators, members of representatives.
Let's shut down. If we cannot save this country, we stay in our homes. Our country is bleeding. People are in poverty. There's no food. People are hungry. Insecurity is threatening us. We cannot pretend. It's better we're not here than to not see that here. People are dying. Every day Nigerians are dying. We must learn to education. And so me, Mr. President.
You're still on to Political Arena right here on Delta Rainbow Television. Enjoy the lessons set we have Professor Patrick Oromarigake, who is the Dean, Faculty of Political Science and International Relations at Baba State University. Great to have you join us this morning on the program.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Happy New Year to you as well.
Happy New Year to you also.
Alright, so before you came in, we're talking about politics and review in Nigeria, and from your perspective, what would you say was the high points in the political scene in 2021?
Well, when you talk about politics, there are a whole lot of issues to be talked about. First and foremost, I want us to establish it here that the major problem with Nigeria and Africa is politics. Because everything centers around politics. And that when politics filters into every aspect and segment of society, they became a major problem. Now, the focus in 2021 is about occupying office, and again some jostling to pull those that are in office down, those that are not in political office, others that are out of politics or political offices, are moving around to pull those that are in politics, political offices, those that are occupying it, to pull them down. So there is what we call a pull down syndrome, and those to occupy are struggling to hold their offices, and holding offices is not in terms of service to the people. I've established it here before. It's in terms of personal aggrandizement to the detriment of the people. And again, the center of it all is about who is in the office and what the individual that is occupying the office is getting, to himself. And I see one trend, which is a fallout of the bad practice of politics. At the tail end, you see politicians going with trailers of rice and all that. They begin to, as a means of swaying votes and opinion of the hungry masses for themselves, distributing rice, distributing groundnut oil, and whatever to people. And those are the trend of politics. Aggrandizement. The masses are not carried along in respect to resources dispensing to the needs of the people and society. So politics has been centered on individuals. You understand? Copying from what my colleague said here, the cutting of the national cake, which is a wrong notion. You understand? How individual get into position of political office and begin to use that office to enrich him or herself to the detriment of the people and society. That basically is the trend. And again, you have issues of some people that occupied offices, of course, answer the call of nature, both at the federal, state level, and other jostling to, occupy such offices. Why do people jostle to get into political office? It's just a means of enrichment, a means of enriching personal, front to the detriment of society and the people generally.
All right, so let's play down to Delta State right now. How would you describe politics in Delta State in 2021? Comrade Emeka Iwobicha.
Yes, politics in Delta State 2021. For me, it has been a mixed bag, of issues, that actually annoy the sensibilities of the good Deltans who would want good governance, as, the best practice in governance. You will recall that if you look at these situations, the arguments, the discourses over time, it is all about who becomes the governor, yes, because politics, that seat must transcend, but it is not being pitched along the line of what will this governance, bring back to the people in terms of good governance, in terms of, addressing the teething problems, addressing poverty, addressing poor infrastructure, addressing the needs of the people who are the owner of the state. So it is all about, ethnicity, ethnocentric, profiteering, trying to discuss policies around, the boundary of I want my person be there, not what the politics would benefit the people, the ordinary man. So that is my annoyance, and that has, in recent time, since 2021, a kind of taking over the political discourse of this state. Because if you look at it now, within the PDP angle, you see that what actually makes the news headlines every day is Delta Central saying we are going to produce the next governor, who is the robot, because Delta Central is highly homogenic in nature, predominantly the robots. Then you have not still seen within the Delta South angle the Ijos coming to say, please, it is our turn to produce the governor because we have not tested the state. So if you look at it, what comes in here is they are always saying, because I read an article by one of the Ijaw academians. He discovered that what they're not saying is the Ijaws are predominantly riverine areas. They do not have road, they do not have water, they do not have infrastructure, they do not, and again, these are the highest contributor to the wealth of the state. So it appears that whoever gets there, what you are bringing to play is how you can benefit your immediate society, not the general people. Because if there has been good governance in this state, if you are saying I want Ijaw to be the governor now, you'll be talking about Ijaw being the governor, to take Delta State, to the next level. Not talking about your own people, as being, the primary objective for which you are wanting the governorship. So if you look at it, you discover that leadership, governance, in terms of, distributing the cake equally so that everybody will have a legitimate stake in it, has been totally eroded. So what we bring in the front is how we can propitiate our own persons, how we can propitiate our own ethnic, the microcosm that form the entire state. So it is actually not really taking us there, and it has made politics, democracy, look like a clannish principle or ideology, which ordinarily it shouldn't be. Because the simple definition of democracy is, government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So in other words, whoever goes there should take the state affairs as the primary motive that brings him there, not his ethnic agenda, not his personal agenda, not his family agenda. But that has always been the diverse. Though we have now come to see where the real principle, the real idealism that formed the bedrock of democracy is being jettisoned. So what ought not to be, has become what we now go after. And that is why in all facets of human development, we are not actually doing well. So we really need to change our game. Whoever is coming there saying I want to be the governor, please, let what you're coming to do there is for the generality of the people, not for your own personal interest. That is where I'm not very, very much comfortable about, the manner under which political
by dropping, if I were to be him, I would drop the whole cabinet.
Why?
Not just some. Because the focus of governance was, diverted. The attention was diverted from providing governance to the people to more of politicking. And when politicking goes into governance, the whole process is soiled. You understand? The step he took by dropping some commissioners and some of his government cabinet members that have interest in contesting for governorship and all that is a good step for a leader. But the issue is it looks selective. You understand? It looks selective because not everyone that is concerned with the diversion of the focus of the government of his government were actually dropped. You understand? So in the state here there is what I call a fight between the cat and the dog. You understand? The fight between the cat and the dog. The dog trying to pull the cat down, the cat trying to fight the dog. That is the trend of politics in 2021. There is no synergy between the ruling party and opposition party. There is supposed to be a meeting point between the ruling party and the opposition party where they collaborate. They get ideas and information, from the opposition party to move the state and the people forward. But that is not it. What is in Delta is this hacking down, pulling down. There is nothing good in about the reigning government. The opposition will always criticize whatsoever policy. Whosoever is there is not good enough. They have to be the one to occupy there and things like that, which is a bad omen in political arena. So, and you have the trend of it must be we. I will not mention, I'm not coming here to mention any party. It must be we that must control the state. The others must not be part of it. The state belongs to we, a specific political party, and the other party must not. So there's a trend of it too. And there is another trend of the opposing political party taking every step, even sometimes contrary to the law, to pull down, to hack down those that are, in the party that is in power. That is a trend. And again, like Mika said, you have a new dimension of politics also that have become so prominent in 2021. You have the issue of ethnicizing, ethnic dimension of politics, where you have dominant ethnic group stroke minority ethnic group contesting. Some are saying we have not tasted of the the governorship, we have not done that and all that. You have been the one that is there, and this is now our turn and things like that. You see, I have a very important question to ask. Anyone that is contesting for an office, why are you contesting for that office? The people fail to ask them. It's not about ethnic, it's not about religion, it's about individual service to the people. You understand me? Because the dimension that politics has taken in Delta State now, if my ethnic is there, I develop my ethnic area and region to the detriment of the others. You understand me? Which is a dangerous trend of politics that politics has taken in Delta State. So there is a now is squabble between ethnics. You understand me? And now it's not even ethnics now. We have senatorial districts. We have North, Central, and what? South. Because in each of the senatorial districts, we have different ethnics. Delta State is a conglomeration of different ethnic language. You understand me? Even like Mecca is saying, within the Urobo Delta Central, we still have distinct and different ethnic, groups. Are you getting me? That are angling. So the question is, why do the individual wants to be governor, for instance? Why do you want to be governor? I will call on the media. If you people can organize a kind of a debate, a forum where these people will come and tell Deltans, why do you want to be governor? Are you getting me? And ask prominent, important questions. How do you address specific issues and problems that are staring us at the face? Are you getting me? Not just you coming to say, I want to be governor, soft Delta. If I want to be prosperous Delta, if I be governor, prosperity for all. They have different, whatever they give to themselves. You understand me? But that is not the focus. Like I mentioned here, is it not last week? Every governor wants to construct road. Every governor wants to build a bridge. Every governor wants to do electricity. Every party, every governor. Am I communicating? That is not it. Nobody is talking about the well-being of the people. Nobody is talking about how to engage the people. Nobody is talking about how to educate the people. Nobody is talking about how to move the people forward from the backwardness that they are in society.
All right, the lines are open for you to call in the program for your contributions. You can reach us on 0805 222 75772. That is 0805 222 5772. The number is on your screen. Call us to make your contributions and also your suggestions on the program this morning. The lines are open. Call in and let's get your take on our discussion today. Now, you talked about the people.
Yes.
Yes. Now, what role do the people have in politics? What role should they have in politics come 2022 and perspective for 2023? Emeka?
Yes, the people, like I do see here. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, has made us understand that the sovereignty belongs to the people, from whom the government draws its powers and responsibilities. So, without the people, there is no state. Without the people, there is no democracy. So, in other words, the people are supposed to be the beautiful bride. But what is happening here is a disconnect somewhere. The people do not really understand, this power they have to determine their fate, to determine their future, and to determine the progress of the state. Because the state is a project. All of us are holding tenaciously to it, moving us to the promised land. Nobody is alienated. Nobody is looking small. So all of us have an equal contribution. But now, do the people actually know their roles to define the course governance will go? The people should know, but the body languages and activities of the people over time, more so the electorates, have shown that they have lost their direction. Why? If I know my stake in politics and 2023 is just at the corner, so the build-up to the election is heating up. I should be able to get my PVC because I am the determinant
or the progress, the success of that process. So, what makes me a bona fide citizen? For me to exercise my franchise at the electoral system, I should be able to get my PVC now, make sure with that I have been certified to participate in the process. So when the people have taken this wonderful stand on that particular election day, we should be able to know, to distinguish who is the right candidate. Because at the end of the day, there will be different persons being fielded by different parties, as their candidates. Whether the good ones or the bad ones. All of us have the instinct, all of us have the sensibilities to know who is the right candidate. Not even looking at it for the party angle now,
yes.
but looking at the individual that is coming, presenting himself, to vie for that position. Because over time, the party has disappointed us. Because when we say we belong to a political party, we expect the party to be pro-people, to be pro-masses. But that's what we are saying. And the party should have a clear-cut ideology that is tied towards a healthy development of the people. But what I have seen in recent times is that our parties seem to have lost it. They seem not to have the focus. So the people should be able to take their destiny by their hands and begin to identify the person that has what it takes to lead, to be the good governor, to be the good representative. So on that particular day, all of us have to go to the polling booth and do what? And vote the right candidate. Because when the person knows that he's getting to that office is through the people, then his allegiance will be to the people. But when he knows that the people did not contribute to his getting there, or perhaps he shot his way into there through other devious means by either, influencing the system with money, they know, because somebody has ever told us here some time ago, I may not mention him, that nobody voted him in, that he bought his ticket by himself. So at the end of the day, he sees you as an ordinary person, because when he gets those money he has spent, he's coming to recoup them 1 million food. So that is the reason when they are doing what they are doing in terms of, a kind of being corrupt in the system, they don't even look back. They don't even care whether anybody will call them to question. And it has even been shown that the people even seem to lack the energy, the venom, the tenacity, the idealism, the understanding to call the shot or hold their leaders to account. So, leaders in the Nigerian political system, they go there as thinkers, they do whatever they want to do, and they climb down the ladder and nobody brings them to question. And the system and even the laws seem to be aiding and abetting this. Because if our laws are properly spelled out judiciously, that when you go there and misappropriate the public goods, because the future of the people are tied to their money, and due to your ill system of governance, it has caused the people this pain. You should be brought to book. But the laws are silent about that. So anybody that goes there, that squanders our resources, that squanders our common patrimony, he comes in there and he walks a free man in the street. Nobody calls him to order. So it has become a norm. It has become a system. Nobody cares. Nobody worries. So it becomes anything goes. But that is not how a democratic system should run. You can't do that in developed countries. Even when you have claimed that in developed countries over the years, they still go back to look into your antecedents, where you have found one thing, even when it was not discovered when you were in the office. They still call you to do what? To answer to those roles. So, by the time we begin to set these templates, a template that checkmates those in office, they definitely know that it's no longer Uhuru. So whatever you do would haunt you. If you do the good, you'll be applauded. If you do the bad, you will definitely come to answer. The questions that will follow you. So by the time the people begin, to interrogate their leaders, there will be a semblance of good governance in no time. So we should be able to get it right, knowing fully well that we must participate in governance, not remain passive. Participating in governance means getting your PVC and ensuring you exercise your franchise, and not only there, you should be able to interrogate the system and make your voice heard, so that those there are not does not mean that they are annoying. Nobody is infallible, so they are bound to make some errors. But the people should be able to understand this and bring them to check, so that we will be able to get to the promised land as we wish to go, come 2023 and beyond. That is my beautiful thing.
We don't have time to really analyze all of this so much, but I thank you so much for coming on the program today. We have been able to put together the fact that Nigeria is our country, Delta State is our state, and the shortcomings we've had in the course of the past year, no synergy between the ruling parties and the opposition parties, criticism of government, the pull-down syndrome, ethnicity, bad governance, and all of that has contributed to where we are today, and then there is need for progress. And then for individuals, for the people, these are some of the things that have been highlighted for us to do. Exercise your franchise, and it starts by getting your permanent voter's card. Vote for the right candidates and not for the party involved. Also, a system that checkmates politicians and their doing should also be put in place. Before wrapping up, Professor Patrick, in a minute, give your final words to the viewers to wrap up the program this morning.
Yes, I would like to support Emeka here that sovereignty belongs to the people. So don't sell your rights. Don't sell that which God has given you to determine who leads you by peanuts. You understand? And that's why I said there's a trend in our state. At the end of the year, they begin to distribute rice, distribute, some eatables to people. Fine. But that is not it.
It's much more.
It's much more than that.
And so our exhortation about government, it's much more than that. Play your role, fulfill your mandates to the people, and let politics be what it should be in our great country, Nigeria. Thank you very much, Comrade Emeka Nwokocha, for being here today, for analyzing this topic with us. You're a journalist and public affairs analyst, and I also appreciate Professor Patrick Orobaregake, who is also here to talk with us. Thanks for coming on the program.
You're welcome.
That's a wrap it up today on Political Arena. Many thanks for joining us. See you same time next week Wednesday.